Well, hello there, and welcome to issue number 139. This issue is all about the Piscean horse. As you can see on the caption prior to the video, those are all the dates you have to be in this Western and Eastern astrological sign. If there's any questions about the dates, feel free to comment or ask me for previous years. All feedback's very welcome, and I do enjoy interaction, so that'd be fantastic if you can. So okay then, let's start in the beginning. We've got the Piscean, the wise Piscean. It's very much that they're in another world, another sphere, and they walk a different line to everybody else because they really are half in touch on Earth and half on touch somewhere else. You know, if anyone has the spirituality, it's the Piscean. They're adept at the sixth sense. They know, they sense danger way before it's upon them, and this wisdom and this knack of predicting when things are going to go wrong and when they're going to go right, that really puts them really favourably placed amongst astrology. Is because they just have that knack, that intuition of knowing. And if we put the horse into play, well, the horse is unpredictable. They are very confident, they have a real straight back, they're confident, they're very skillful, they're capable of real intricate, complex working out, mechanics, anything. They're very capable of some baffling numbers as well. You know, they really are, as I said, unpredictable, but ultimately very, very skillful, the horse, and very intelligent. So we put the two together, and as a child, this Piscean will be confident. They will be a bit more of a forerunner, a bit more at the front of the class, in the sense of they will be a bit more vocal than other Pisceans, because Pisceans are very clever, because they know the wisdom of not being too loud and not being too quiet. They know the wisdom of being in the middle. You know, so they're involved, but they're not. They can keep some of themselves back. So when they're in class discussions or anything like that, they do enough. They always do just enough, but ultimately they know to save some of themselves, because unless you're another Piscean, you don't. That's the line they walk. It's the way they are. You know, they know they have this uncanny knack of knowing when to get their head down and when to get their head up. They just know when they need to, as I say, look busy and be busy. So it's a fantastic and fascinating combination. And as a child, the Piscean sails through because of this. They go largely undetected, in the sense of they don't stand out, but they don't sit back, if you know what I mean. So this horse pushes them a little bit more to the front, a little bit more confident. The horse does like to be heard, and they do like to show their skills. So it battles the Pisces inside a bit and says, no, come on, I want to show what I'm capable of. Whereas the Piscean is very capable of keeping themselves, as I say, just in the middle, and then at the last knockings win the race. They like to sort of mind game a little, and that's why it's so fascinating. But the horse has to show its hand a little bit. They have to show what they're capable of, just to let everybody know, you know, okay, you know, they might have a little outburst, but ultimately they are someone to be respected, especially in, you know, as I say, real skilled areas, mechanics especially. They're fantastic in complex with numbers, number theories, etc., code crackers, that sort of thing. They're very, very good at that sort of stuff. So if we take them through, what comes out is they will go to college, they will be bright, they will go to university, they will be bright, as I said, you know, but they will have the pendant with the unpredictability and that Piscean sixth sense to have a real confidence in alternative medicines, faith healing as well. They will be very, very, very spiritual, and I can see them holding court and holding that sort of thing very dear to them. And you know, they have fascinating alternatives to what we would say is the run-of-the-mill way of life. They're flamboyant as they get older. They dress uniquely, so you will see somebody who stands out, quite outspoken the older they get, and once the Pisces is fully out and confident because they're making it on their own, they can put everything in, because, as I say, they've done that bit of checking back when they've had to do their stuff and they've got there, and that's when you see them, the Piscean, motivated. You see them great with initiatives, ideas that are on the way in. They sense what's coming in. So you've got somebody who's at the pulse. They will know the latest alternatives, alternative healing, etc. Very spiritual, could very well be a medium, that sort of thing. They have that touch, they have that pulse, and the horse loves a bit of unpredictability. So they will be drawn to characters who will be leaning towards different teachings as well, and they will get involved in sort of learning about this, learning about that, you know, different religions. They really take this seriously, because it's ultimately a skillful and adapt at whatever job they choose to do. It's ultimately how they feel on the inside, always with the Piscean, about their growth. They're great with money anyway, and the Pisces horse will be fantastic with money. So if they decide to jet off for a year, they take a year out, they're always very resourceful, and they have that money behind them. But they have to soul search, they have to advance themselves in the soul, because a Piscean not doing that is a sad, moody, really sort of sullen person, and I hate seeing Pisceans like that. I find it very, very upsetting, because they get looked upon as being quite pessimistic and down, and sort of like they always seem to be low. But that isn't the Piscean at all. That's only when they've been restricted. They may be in a job that they completely hate. They've had to give in to the 9-to-5 grind. Well, get out of it, because it's going to damage you soul-wise, and they know that. They know they have to grow in that essence to feel good, and then to give something back, because once they've learned from these teachings, you won't get a better teacher to put it back into society. Pisceans love to share. They love to share it back into society. They say, well, why don't you try this way of life? Why don't you try this alternative natural remedy? Why don't you try this different exercise? So they're excellent at then throwing it back in, recycling, and really helping other people spiritually grow. You know, everybody isn't a Pisces, so we're not all as fortunate to be spiritually advanced. But if we just take on a bit of their teachings, we're feeling a lot better about ourselves, thinking, oh yes, I realise that about myself now. You know, if I cut this out of my diet and I bring that in, I never thought about it. Just things like that. They would make an excellent personal trainer as well, in the alternative sense. You know, they know when to push their pupils, shall we say, and they know when to check back. So they've got that natural key of timing and sensitivity as well. They are a sensitive sign, but the horse is bold. It cuts out too much melancholy, and so hopefully this horse doesn't allow this Piscean to get into that rut, allow that melancholy, which I really know the horse inside will be stronger the older it gets. The older it gets, you know, it comes more to the forefront, the inner comes out, and all that soul searching and that stuff that they need to fulfill, they will fulfill it. If they need to go to Tibet for a year, they will do it, and they will feel enlightened, and that's what they need, this Piscean. And as I say, they're very, very good with money, so they will always have something put by. They'll always have something, and this collection of friends, these unusual friends, where they've always got somewhere to stay. They will just turn up, and you know, there are people dotted around because they are drawn to the unusual and the eccentric. So it's fantastic and I want to see them on that journey. And please let me know about that journey as well, because it's wonderful to hear, and it's wonderful to see what they then put back in, because it's a very giving combination. So let's look at the best signs who's going to support you on that journey, and also want to journey with you, you know, and sort of, or give you something and saying, you know, let's try this together. Well, when we talk about the Piscean horse, we've got to talk about tigers, because tigers, they're pioneers. They are fully aware that what you're trying to do is very organic, it's very, you know, it's not going against the grain in an injustice way. It's going for the good of humanity, shall we say, and tigers love that. If they can be of good, if they can be of use, if they can certainly find an alternative way of life, they will join you. And they're wonderful companions, the horse and the tiger. Really, really are. They smile a lot together, and they do progress so well, both from the inside. So let's look at the tigers that are born under Taurus, Cancer, Scorpio and Capricorn. They are the best match in the tiger family. And also we have to look for the dogs, because the dogs, they're zoned into you, they will follow you to the end of the earth, and they will make you feel secure, and they will want to be adaptable to what these learnings, and they will want to put the effort in, they will want to put the time in. They don't get you know, uptight when maybe you're in your different sphere and your different way of thinking. They're sort of very willing to be a nice sounding board as well, so they can be fantastic partners, and mentally it's very, very good that these two talk things through, and they talk through until the wee hours. They really do have a strong connection there. So let's look at the dogs under Taurus, Cancer, Scorpio and Capricorn. Really, really strong, and as I say, try and stick to those ones in the dog family. The ones to avoid are the rats, because the rats will feel you're too unpredictable. It's too alternative. They like their security, remember, and although the Piscean horses can get their own money and they're secure at holding on to that, the rat will be looking for more things in the possession world, in the tangible world, where I've got my lovely ornates around me, I've got my you know, my haven. Now that doesn't always appeal to the Pisces horse whatsoever. They like to be spiritually advancing, where the rat is quite materialistically advancing. Equally in their own way, they're fantastic, but they're chalk and cheese, and they shouldn't mix. If we look at the health of the Piscean horse, well, they're very good at sensing if something isn't good, if something isn't right, and the only thing I can see them is when they're jetting here, there, moving into this, you know, this research world of alternativeness, is to make sure they're proper jabbed up, malaria, etc. like that, or wherever they're going, because they're so, you know, willing to travel and put themselves into places for enlightenment. They are the dangers, so be careful of, you know, make sure you really got all your necessary pills, jabs, etc. like that, and you know, you're near a reasonable doctor who could help you with certain things where you are in the wilderness, shall we say, and so you could get some attention if need be, because other than that, the Piscean will have that diet which suits them. It'll be a very healthy diet, it's a healthy combination and a very strong one. So it's only their pioneering that will put them in trouble, nothing else. Well, thank you for tuning in, and please join me for the next one. Thanks very much.